it receives power from the PV via DC to DC, DC to DC boost converter and the DC link capacitor as well. Okay, so and it is mainly involving to compensate, to improvement the power quality by providing a compensating current as it was acting as a shunt active power filter. Okay, as we use the 8 IGBT with the feedback diode, and moreover we use a 3-phase 4-leg inverter because it offers a direct control over neutral current. So it doesn't need any a technique to neutralize the neutral current. That is why there is no existence of third harmonic, as we are using a 3-phase 4-wire system, and we use the inverter with a 3-phase 4-leg inverter, so that there is no need of any neutral current compensation. So there is no existence of third harmonic. That is the beauty of 3-phase 4-leg topology, right? And we use the capacitor between the two stages, as it provides a DC coupling, DC isolation between the source and the load, and moreover it supplies power to compensate the switching loss as well in the VSI, and moreover it also supplies energy requirement during dynamics. Why? Whenever there is a step changes, or whenever there is a variation in the temperature and irradiation, obviously you can find there must be a changes in the DC link voltage as well. So it has to be maintained constant irrespective of source variation or the load variation, right? So mostly we use either ultra capacitor or a super capacitor, or in line with the energy source like a battery. So that has to be incorporated the DC link, so that the DC link voltage remains constant irrespective of source fluctuation or the load fluctuation. Please remember that. And the inductor is connected in the inverter, so that it will reduce the current ripple. That is very important, because if the inductor is not, the inductor is reduce the ripple in the current wave, no DC component must be injected at PCC. That I will tell you. Okay, so this is the signal sensing, as we sense the 3-phase AC voltage, so the voltage source voltage sensor, the LV25NP, a Hall effect sensor we used to scale down the voltage from 415 volt to 5 volt plus or minus, and moreover the current sensing, it scale down the grid current for supply current from plus or minus 10 ampere to 5 volt. Okay, so the available 5 volt from the current sensor, available 5 volt from the voltage sensor, that will be given to an amplification circuitry, so that the amplitude of that sensor is not enough to drive the interfacing with the D space, so that we use a 3-phase cascaded amplifier with the TL081. You can see that input current signal and amplified output voltage level, so that we are able to amplify a signal which is available at the sensor, so that will be given to your the D space interfacing card. And moreover, we have to design a blanking circuit. This is very important. Maybe you might have studied in an undergraduate or maybe in the power electronics, such that, and as in the each leg we use 2 switches, right? So 2 switches here, TP and TN is upper switch, this is the bottom switch. So if there is a simultaneous firing between these 2 switches, ultimately there is a dead short circuit. Why? These 2 plus and minus, these 2 are connected with the DC link, right? So if these 2 switches are fired simultaneously, of course there must be a dead short circuit, then it causes an overcurrent of the DC link capacitor that will be damaged very easily. So it has to prevent the simultaneous firing. That is what you see here. The pulse given to upper switch is SP, the pulse given to bottom switch is SN. So if both are fired simultaneously, you can find there must be a simultaneous firing. It causes dead short circuit of DC. So it has to be avoided. You have to provide inherent time delay between the switch TP and TN. So you can find the shaded portion, basically a time delay as what is called. We have to inherently generate a dead band of delta T. That is very important. So as the delta D is generated with the help of different combination of RC, we use IC7404 NOT and AND gate, and we have generated intentional time delay here as in our experimental setup, as we have fabricated the converter with the PWM pulse generation with the time interval of 3.12 microseconds between the 2 switches on the same leg. So this is very important, but still, and we do not say that this is the accurate time delay it has to ensure. Of course, that depends on the different controlled, different modulation techniques as well. Why? Right? So if the dead band is too much, if the dead band may be 5 microseconds or maybe 10 microseconds, then you might be knowing there is a non-uniform PWM pulse generation, and again it can cause the current distortion, inverter output current distortion, right? And again it creates the problem of power quality. That is why, so care should be taken while designing a blanking circuit to provide a time delay or a dead band between the two switches PWM pulses. That is very important. Okay, you can see the dead band which we generated in the lab with the help of this blanking circuitry, and this is the pulse amplification. As I told you that there are two circuits are involving, a power circuit and control circuit. So power circuit avoids the lossy elements and the control circuit avoids the magnetics, but still both has to be electrically isolated. That is what we use as the isolation circuit. That ensure an electrical isolation between the power circuit and control circuit, and you can see that as we have an optocoupler, so that we are able to generate the independent PWM pulses to each IGBT switches on the each leg, so that we are independently generating 8 PWM pulses with the help of DSpace. Okay, as we use as a TLP250 Toshiba, the optocoupler, and for providing an electrical isolation in the PWM pulses, and it works up to 26 kilohertz. But still the PWM pulses can be generated for the grid connected inverter system maybe up to 10 kilohertz, because the grid is it's not dynamic as it is a static. It operates at the sinusoidal voltage with the rated frequency with the fundamental frequency of 50 hertz. So still you can operate the power electronic switches in the voltage source inverter at a maximum of 10 kilohertz. That is more than enough, because if you operate at 25 kilohertz, it doesn't mean the speed of response is very good. It implies that as the switching frequency is increasing, again there is a power loss. What is called the switching loss of the voltage source inverter, and again it degrades the efficiency of the system and moreover overheating as well. That is one. Most of the grid connected inverter system, we used to design the control circuitry to generate PWM pulses up to 10 kilohertz switching frequency. Okay, and moreover in the each step of the control circuitry, for signal sensing and signal amplification and what is called pulse amplification and complementary pulse, we have a different regulatory DC voltage level, and you can see how many the DC supply unit is required for for activating the each sub circuitry in these control circuits. So overall we use 230 by 15 volt center transformer power supply. We taped to get the different DC voltages for the different sub circuitry as well. And this is the configuration of DSpace. As I told you that the control strategy is going to be implemented with the help of DSpace by implementing an algorithm in the MATLAB Simulink. Okay, so as the 1104 has a 8 integral unit of 16-bit as well as 12-bit pipeline ADC channel and receiving voltage signal of plus or minus 10 volt range. So it uses the 8 DAC card and 16-bit resolution with the digital IOs up to 20 pins can be utilized. It implies that you can extract the input signal from the sensor and output PWM pulses from the output port with the maximum of 20 pins. So it implies that it can handle up to 20 PWM pulses, and that you can extract from the DSpace card. You can see the configuration of the DSpace, the 1104 card, and it has the memory, timers, because basically it is a microcontroller, right? So it has a memory, timers, and control unit, and including ADC of 4-channel 16-bit and 4-channel 12-bit, and again it has a DAC. So that the concerned 8-channel 16-bit DAC as we are using to generate to extract 8 digital pulses for PWM pulses as well, and it has 19 IO pins for both input side, signal from the sensor, output to the PWM pulses, and it uses 2-channel incremental encoder. Even still, you can use a DSpace for implementing a control algorithm for electrical machines as well, as it has a 2-channel incremental encoder for sensing the rotor position as well. So you can implement a control on the electrical machines as well. And it has a PWM generator, one 3-phase and 4 single phase as well. And you have a 4 capture input, and it has a serial peripheral interface, especially for the USB interface to extract the waveform from the DSpace, and still it has a memory card as well. Okay, and this is the DSpace configuration. So as it generates the digital pulses, that will be given to the IGBT driver circuit, so that it is able to generate the real PWM pulses that will be that will activate the switches and the inverter, so that inverter is able to implement an algorithm so that it will take an action to control active and reactive power in addition to power quality improvement. And this is the simple control algorithm. As I told you that the control algorithm include outer voltage loop control and inner current control, so that we are sensing a DC link voltage by the voltage sensor from the DC link that compares with the reference voltage, then the error is given to the PI controller, right? And the proper design of the P and the KP and KI, then it generates the signal that will be given to the summer, that is basically from the inner current control loop. So as you have a 3 current sensor from the load, and we are sensing the load current, then that will generate ILD star. It implies that D-axis component, the reference D-axis component of load, So it implies that D-axis implies an active current component, Q-axis implies a reactive current component. So as you are assuming that the grid is at balanced, sinusoidal condition, it implies there is no support of reactive power, because it is under balanced, then there is no existence of reactive power. It is voltage profile, it remains constant. So during steady state, okay, so during steady state you assume that the Q-axis load current component is 0. It implies the grid is connected with a balanced three-phase load. So it implies you need only active current component control. So this is generating active current component reference. So then these components will be given to dq by ABC transformation. Then accordingly, the reference current will be generated. That is what is called IA, IB, IC star. Then that will be compared with the actual grid current. Then the error is given to the hysteresis current controller. So that will provide such a band between the upper and the lower threshold. So it is able to control instantaneously the grid current, so that the PWM pulses will be given to the inverter. So inverter will take action. So this is a simple control strategy of grid connected inverter system using SRF PLL. It implies, so while transferring this DQ axis component into ABC, as DQ in the synchronously rotating reference frame, and ABC again it is a natural reference frame. So while transferring DQ to ABC, obviously the transformation requires the theta component. That is what is called the sin theta component and cos theta component. So basically the generation of sin theta cos theta is possible by phase locked loop, as it receives the signal from the current sensor, right? So the generation of sin theta and cos theta component is basically what is called a unit vector generation. Okay, please remember that. Okay, as the relevant mathematical equations are available here. ILD is the D-axis load current. It composed of that R phase and the Y phase and the B phase component with reference to ABC. As a load we use as ABC, and the supply we use as RYB. Okay, so now this ILD it composed of the reference current of D-axis. You can see that the ABC star, I told you the control strategy intention is to generate the reference current, right? So we are generating the reference current ILA star, ILB star, ILC star by using this power transformation, along with by generating ILD star and ILQ star. So these two components, ILD star and ILQ star, basically we are deriving from inner current control loop and outer voltage loop. Please remember that. Okay, and for transforming, and we need sin theta and cos theta component. That is what we use as phase locked loop. So we use as SRF PLL, synchronous reference frame PLL, to extract the value of sin theta cos theta. Basically sin theta and cos theta components are basically a fundamental grid current component. What do you mean fundamental grid current component? So this sin theta cos theta, it must be relevant to the fundamental grid current component, 50 Hertz. So you should not have a harmonic grid current component. Please remember that. So while estimating the value of theta for generating the reference current ILD star and ILQ star, care should be taken to estimate only fundamental grid component. Only 50 Hertz component. That is one. So if you see the PLL design, you can go through the very recent literature. Even one of my scholars is actively working on the grid synchronization. The PLL design. We could find more than 200 PLLs are available in the recent literature. So authors have developed a number of PLL, adaptive PLL, and they used discrete PLL. You can find all digital PLL. You can find 100 PLLs are available in the literature for estimating sin theta cos theta very accurately during abnormal grid condition. Please remember, this is one of the another area of research in the grid connected inverter system. Grid synchronization by using advanced PLL as well. That is what. But here we use SRF very basic PLL to estimate the value of theta. This is the complete laboratory prototype. It composed of three-phase auto transformer and a current sensing unit, voltage and current sensing, and a D space, and the D space where that is available. Yeah, D space is here. Yeah, this is the D space interfacing card, and the three-phase voltage source inverter and three-phase voltage source inverter is available here. You can see the leg 1, leg 2, leg 3, leg 4. This is the 4-leg inverter. So this is the complete laboratory prototype that has been fabricated and implemented in the laboratory. And the different cases of experiments, let me explain, as I have another 25 minutes to explain. Let me tell you that. So as you can see that, as this 3-phase 4-leg inverter not only controls an active and reactive power injected into the utility grid, and it also contributes for power quality, as I told you. And hence, this is what is called a multifunctional inverter. Okay. So if this multifunctional inverter control is not observed, then you can see the figure. Whenever there is a non-linear three-phase non-linear diode rectifier load is connected at PCC of a three-phase AC supply, you can see that the supply voltage remains sinusoidal, but the supply current is getting distorted. You can see there is a staircase in your, three-phase AC current because of three-phase non-linear diode rectifier load. That is what. So effect oppose the cause. You can see the grid current is distorted. It is not a sinusoidal. So this is without multifunctional inverter. Now, as you are connecting a multifunctional inverter as a shunt active power filter at PCC, you can see that as it is injecting, the compensating current. As it is injecting a compensating current, and you can see that, and your supply current is becoming sinusoidal. You know, this is with active power filter. So now the grid connected voltage source inverter, shunted voltage source inverter, that will inject a complementary component of the harmonic which is present in the supply current, so that it is able to compensate the harmonic component, so that your supply current is sinusoidal. Right, and still you can see you are connecting a three-phase non-linear diode rectifier load, but supply current becoming sinusoidal. Now this is possible with the help of shunt active power filter. Okay, and you can see the shunt active power filter with the figure C without active power filter. Without active power filter, you can see that your supply current for each phase is what, like it is a staircase, a stepped wave. Okay, but still you can see the neutral current. So there is an existence of neutral current because what? Because of the voltage source inverter is not, the shunt active power filter is not used for the control purpose. So without shunt active power filter, you can see that there is an existence of neutral current. So there must be an overheat. Now, as you have connected three-phase voltage source inverter, the four-leg inverter, you see it is compensating the harmonic component in the each phase, so that the supply current ISR, ISY, ISB, it becomes sinusoidal. Moreover, the neutral current is also become zero. There is no existence of neutral current. Why? This has been compensated by fourth leg of the voltage source inverter. That is what. So this is the response with active power filter, with multifunctional inverter. Okay, you can see here, with multifunctional inverter, and you can see that the supply voltage and supply current, still the load current is not sinusoidal. You can see compensating current during multifunctional. You see, still it is not sinusoidal. It's not zero, but in the moreover, with the multifunctional inverter, you can see the neutral current becomes zero. So, and moreover, whenever there is a nonlinear load is connected at PCC of a three-phase AC supply, of course, DC link voltage must be maintained constant. You can see that the DC link voltage, it remains constant whenever there is a variation, whenever there is a nonlinear load connected at PCC. Okay, you can see the cases for the real-time power sharing. What do you mean real-time power sharing? For example, as the PV is generating 1 kilowatts of power, if the grid requirement is 1 kilowatt, obviously the grid power and the source power, it remains same, then there is no need of additional real power sharing. But when the load power increases from 1 kilowatts to 1.5 kilowatts, PV power, it remains 1 kilowatt, then remaining 0.5 kilowatts will be supplied by voltage source inverter from the PV. This is what is called real power sharing functionality. You can see that it also contribute for real power sharing capability, and moreover, it also maintains the power quality. Even with the control algorithm, you can see the grid current. For all the cases, the grid current is less than 5%. You can see that the grid current is you can see here, this is without shunt active power filter. THD is about 24.1%, but with shunt active power filter and multifunctional inverter, you can see that the THD of the grid current is less than 5%. 4.2%. Still, the instantaneous current, grid current, is largely reduces from 3.4 to 1 ampere to 1.66 ampere. Obviously, the losses in the inverter is largely reduced by multifunctional inverter. You can see here the comparative analysis with active power filter and with multifunctional. You can see that real power which is being injected into the supply from the PV is basically 103. Okay, so now with active power filter it is 102 watts, but with multifunctional inverter 58. It implies that 102 minus 58, the balance volt power will be supplied by a PV from the voltage source inverter. Okay, so moreover, whenever a three-phase non-linear load is connected at PCC, still the reactive power burden is largely reduced in the grid. You can see that if active power filter is not functioning, you can see that the reactive power which is being injected into the utility grid is 34.9. So with active power filter reduces to 22.4. With multifunction inverter, reactive power burden is largely reduced. Then what it implies? So the reactive power injected into the utility grid is largely reduced. It implies power factor become unity. You can see that the power factor improved from 0.947 to 0.994. And moreover, the grid current THD is reduces from 24.1 to 4.2. And moreover, the grid current magnitude also reduces from 3.15 to 1.66. So overall, the system performance is largely enhanced with the help of proposed multifunctional inverter with classical control strategy using SRF PLL. Okay, and you can see that the transient response during load perturbation. So whenever there is a sudden change in load at this point, and how the how the inverter ensures the DC link voltage constant. That is what we have shown in the figure here, and here the sudden removal of load. So due to sudden removal of load, ultimately the load current in the R phase is suddenly reduces. In the meanwhile, the ICR, the current in the C phase, it remains same, but the load current it is largely reduced. In the meanwhile, to maintain the power flow constant, the DC link voltage is maintaining constant by outer voltage loop. That is what. So the dynamic response of the voltage source inverter with the DC link voltage control is efficient. It ensures the DC link voltage constant during certain perturbations and the load. Okay, so that is what here, and you can see that the sudden connection of load, how the controller ensures the DC link voltage constant. So it is clear from the above observation that the system performance is found satisfactory during load unbalancing, real power injection, as well as load perturbations. Okay, and further, and you can see that whatever be the control strategy as we have studied with SRF PLL, that is a very classical control. Even the each subsystem design of control circuitry and power circuitry with classical SRF control, we could be able to publish in one ACA journal in Taylor and Francis. But this is a very novel control strategy we have implemented in the grid connected voltage source inverter with the PV. This has been published in IEEE Transactions and Industrial Application, November 2019 issue. So this control strategy completely we have proposed very new, especially for estimating the value of active current component. I told you that. So whenever the control strategy you wanted to implement in the real time, how you are precisely estimating the value of fundamental component. You know what is the fundamental component? The fundamental component is what may be the IA load component is basically a fundamental component. So that fundamental component is essential to provide a reference current to control an active power. So that active power control is very important to provide a constant frequency of the grid current, right? So we have proposed the control strategy especially for estimating or extracting the fundamental active current component with the new strategy we using the sample and hold circuit. So we are able to generate the reference current of ISA star, ISB star, IAC star. Moreover, we have implemented an algorithm for MPPT as well. So by sensing a PV array voltage and PV array current, so we are able to design a conventional MPPT with the perturb and observe. Still, we are able to generate the control algorithm for the DC link voltage as well. Okay. In the meanwhile, we have applied a feed-forward control mechanism of the controlling a PV array as it is a function of PV array, PV voltage as well as the DC link voltage VT. Okay, and this is the control algorithm as we have implemented and we have developed, and in the meanwhile we published as well. Okay, and this is the transient response during PV perturbations. So PV perturbations means at this point immediately there is a changes in the irradiation. You know, the irradiation, it decides the PV current, right? So the PV current changes linearly with irradiation. So when the irradiation changes, obviously you can find there is a strong changes in the PV current, whereas the PV voltage it remains constant. Okay, with the negligible changes. That is what. So you can see that whenever there is a step changes in the irradiation, ultimately you can find there is a changes in the grid current as well, as it is changing the active power. And moreover, the load current it remains constant and all. So how the system ensure the good dynamics of the DC link voltage with the MPPT controller. You see here, the DC link voltage it set the reference of 700 volt, but whenever there is a, changes in the irradiation, you can see there is a changes in the DC link voltage as well. So as the reference voltage, as the actual DC link voltage is, it is following the reference, and how the system ensures the constant DC link voltage. So that has been done with the perturb and observe MPPT controller and the DC to DC boost converter. You can see how the changes and the solar PV voltage and the solar PV irradiance and how the changes in the solar PV irradiation and the solar current. So the complete dynamics are available here. You can see that. So during the changes on the solar irradiation, so obviously there is a changes on the DC link voltage as well. So the red line basically what is called the proposed active current component with the DC bus voltage stabilization with the feed forward. You can see that the peak overshoot as well as the steady state is largely reduced as compared to the existing controller. So that is basically a DC bus terminal voltage stabilization without feed forward. As we proposed a new controller with a feed forward compensation, the PV power as a function of a PV array voltage, PV array current, and the terminal voltage. You can see that there is a strong reduction in the peak overshoot as well as steady state. So this is the the advantage of the fully functioned active current component control that has been proposed. You can see the functionality with a different aspect. Without active power filter, with active power filter, with multifunctional inverter. You can see all the different the case study for this new advanced current control strategy. You can observe the waveform. Moreover, from the study, it ensured sinusoidal current injection. You can see the sinusoidal current injection, and moreover the neutral current compensation, and TH3 should be less than 5%. It ensures DC link voltage constant. Please remember that. So overall control strategy implemented in the the 3-phase 4-leg inverter, it ensures DC bus voltage constant irrespective of load changes, irrespective of source changes. And constant frequency, it ensures constant frequency. The active power control, it ensures voltage at PCC constant. Reactive power control, it ensures unity power factor operation as well. You can see that. So the grid current as well as grid voltage, both are in phase, and it shows that the system the grid is operating at unity power factor. Of course, it doesn't need any reactive power demand from the source because of that active the control strategy implemented in 3-phase 4-leg inverter. And moreover, the grid 3-phase supply current remains sinusoidal. Of course, it is improving overall power quality as well. Okay, and moreover, you see that it is also neutralizing neutral current. It is neutralizing the neutral current or third harmonic component or zero sequence current. That is what. So overall, complete performance of the overall system is largely enhanced with the help of this advanced control strategy and what we have implemented. And overall, the THD before compensation is about 25.1. Now after compensation, it would be around 4.7%. And moreover, the grid current instantaneously reduces from 4.3 ampere to 1.66 ampere. You can see that. So grid current, it has only the fundamental component. The first order harmonic. 50 Hz, and it doesn't have third harmonic. You can see here. In the harmonic spectrum, you do not find third harmonic. It implies neutral current is well compensated with the help of 4th leg with advanced control strategy. Okay, you can see the summary with the multifunctional inverter without multifunctional with multifunctional. You can see that the overall system performance is increasing. So active power sharing reduces from 143 to 60. And moreover, reactive power injected into the utility grid reduces from 60.8 VAR to 5.9 VAR, and the power factor improved from 0.9 to 0.9, almost unity. And the grid current magnitude is reduces largely from 4.3 ampere to 1.66. So the overall power factor reduces from 25.1 to 4.7. Of course, it satisfies IEEE 929 2014 standard. And this is the overall summary of the research what we have done, and we have developed and implemented the complete control circuitry and power circuitry of 3-phase grid connected inverter system, and we have considered the input. We have considered PV as an input source as it feeds power to the utility grid. As we have designed the DC to DC boost converter with simple MPPT algorithm to extract the maximum possible power from the PV array. And moreover, we have implemented and control algorithm on the voltage source inverter to effectively control an active as well as the reactive power. And moreover, we also improve the power quality whenever 3-phase diode non-linear load is connected at PCC. And moreover, it ensures there is a neutral current compensation by 4th lag. And moreover, overall system performance is largely improved. That is what the thing. So the proposed SPV with multifunctional inverter, it feeds generated real power to the utility grid, and also it's serving as a shunt active power filter to provide various power quality source solutions, including source current harmonic compensation, load reactive current compensation, and source current balancing as well. Additionally, 4th leg is effectively controlled to supply the load neutral current demand under unbalanced loading conditions. So there is no existence of third harmonic component, and consequently it enables the utility grid to deliver only balanced and sinusoidal current at unity power factor. Overall, the results presented here clearly illustrate the proposed multifunction inverter meets the THD requirement of IEEE 929 2014 standard, or previously it was with 519 2014. Okay, so these are the key references that we could refer for implementing a control algorithm to find pros and cons of the existing control strategy. Then we have developed a new control algorithm. Even reference 3, also the paper with me as a co-author, this has been published in IEEE Transactions and Power Electronics as well. Okay, so there is the special issue call from the Springer, as I'm an editorial board member of Electrical Engineering Springer. It is basically an ACA journal with the impact factor 1.2, as I have recently floated a special issue called the Energy Storage Design, Control and Applications in Modern Power System, and I am a lead editor for this special issue. Moreover, I am an editorial board member of this Electrical Engineering Springer journal, which is one of the very prestigious, very old journal in the electrical engineering category. So if you are a researcher working in the area of energy storage and its applications, so you are welcome to submit your manuscript to Electrical Engineering Springer. The last date of submission is 15th December, and the decision will be notified during 30th March 2020. So you can you can go through the website here, and ultimately you will find the author's guidelines and how to submit your manuscript. Okay, yeah, so this is one of the call I wanted to share with you, that as I am an associate editor of this journal. Moreover, I am a lead editor. Okay, so thank you very much, and for your patience hearing. Exactly, I took 1.5 hours to give a complete insightfulness on the design, development, and implementation of three-phase grid-connected PV inverter system with advanced control strategy, while we uses the PV system as an input source. Okay, thank you very much. So if you have any doubt, please let me know that.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, thank you. Sir, thank you so much for an explanation. Sir, I have a few doubts. I have already noted down. So
Yeah.
can I ask one by one?
Yeah, please.
Sir, first one is the what is grid forming and what is grid feeding? Sir, please explain once again.
See, grid form. Sorry. Actually, as you are feeding power to the utility grid, right? So you have a grid. Basically, it is an AC interconnected network, right? So as you have a grid, you are integrating a renewable energy like a photovoltaic or wind with utility grid via power electronics converters, right? So now I told you that while you are using a power electronics converters between renewable energy source and utility grid, you have two converters, one on the source side and other is grid side. Okay.
Okay.
Yes. So source side is basically DC to DC boost converter as far as grid connected PV is concerned, and as far as grid connected wind turbine system is concerned, again that is a AC to DC converter. That is what basically we use as active front end converter. Okay. Now the converter which is connected or which is interacting with utility grid is basically a grid connected converter or grid interactive power converter. You can say grid connected voltage source inverter, grid connected power converter, or grid interactive power converter. Okay. So why this is called the grid interactive? Because this is always interacting with the utility grid to satisfy the grid requirements. What are the grid requirements? Grid, it needs the sinusoidal current injection. You have to feed power to the utility grid at the sinusoidal current injection, right? Yeah, so that is what it is called the grid interactive. So it is interacting with the utility grid to satisfy the grid requirements like independent active and reactive power control, to constant voltage at PCC, and the frequency remains constant, and the grid current it remains sinusoidal, and moreover it ensures grid stability as well.
Sir, so which one is called the grid feeding? So last
That's what I'm telling. So while you are implementing a control algorithm to the grid interactive power converter only for control purposes, to control active and reactive power control, then it is basically what is called a grid feeding converter.
Okay.
It feeds power to the utility grid. Moreover, it provides decoupled control between active and reactive power. It does not provide any auxiliary support like a power quality improvement.
Okay. So
but the inverter what we have proposed here, this is a multifunctional inverter. So this fellow not only acting as a grid feeding device, it also acting as a grid supporting device. Why? What the grid it needs to support? It needs to support the power quality improvement. Understood or not?
Yes, 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 sir.
That is what grid supporting. So grid supporting means in addition to control, control approach for active and reactive power control, it has to provide power quality improvement and ancillary services like a low voltage right throw. So that I have not come across so far. Okay, that is another big version to observe while integrating with the utility grid during fault condition. Again, the control strategy has to ensure the low voltage right throw to inject the power during abnormal grid condition. Again, that is another headache while implementing a control strategy that we have not come across so far.
So that type of inverter is called the grid forming inverter.
Yeah, grid forming means what? For example, the grid forming inverter means it is relevant to the microgrid.
Yeah. Okay.
That is relevant to microgrid. So it means what? That inverter virtually forming a grid to feed power to the local load whenever there is no source of power from the PV.
Oh, okay.
That is what. So then the mode may be either standalone or maybe grid connected. That is what. That is a grid forming device.
Okay, so sir, if there is any distribution DER, actually distribution energy resources is there, then this type of inverter is actually called the grid feeding inverter. Okay.
Of course, that is what I told you. See, there is no, configuration in the converter. Configuration is a grid feeding or grid forming. Simply, you are using 2-level, 3-leg voltage source inverter. That's all. But the control algorithm, what you are going to implement, it provide active and reactive power control. In addition to that, it has to provide additional control to the grid main. Then that is what is called the grid supporting device. That is what I told you. It depends on the control strategy what you are going to provide to the voltage source inverter that can act as a grid supporting device or grid forming device. Please understand that.
Okay. So
Okay.
second question is that how to maintain, sir, you told that to maintain the DC link voltage, you have to maintain the DC link voltage to power for the power quality issues. Sir, how to maintain it actually?
DC link voltage, I told you, it has the outer voltage control and inner current control, right? So you are sensing the grid current, you are comparing with the actual current, then the error is given to the current controller. So that has to generate the reference of active current. Sorry, that has to generate the Q axis. I mean the reactive current component reference. And outer voltage control, you are comparing actual voltage with reference DC voltage, that the error is given to the DC link voltage controller, then that has to generate active current component reference. So now you have a two reference current. One is active current reference, another one is reactive current reference. So the reactive current reference is generated by inner current control. Active current component reference is generated by outer voltage control. Please understand that. So, but both the reference will be given to DQT ABC component, so that we are able to generate actual reference current for controlling the grid current. I mean IA star, IB star, IC star.
Okay, sir. Actually, I am saying that if suppose a PV, PV. I am talking about, sir, suppose a single phase PV is then after that there is a boost converter, and after that there is a DC link capacitor.
There is no single phase. There is no what is single phase PV? Basically, the PV is generated DC power, right? It doesn't have either 3-phase or single phase. It's a DC power having the polarity of positive and negative. It's a 2-terminal. Then that will be given to the boost converter or buck converter or any DC to DC converter that has to provide controllable DC voltage to the DC link. That's all about.
Yes.
So that will take care of your MPPT. Yeah.
Okay. So sir, to maintain the DC link voltage control, sir, actually it is done by the MPPT actually.
Sorry?
To maintain the DC link capacitor voltage constant, so it is done by the MPPT controller.
Yes, I completely agree with you. If there is a variation on the PV input parameters like temperature and irradiation.
Okay.
But if there is a variation on the load, how DC to DC converter will take care of with MPPT? Right? See, if there is variation on the temperature and irradiation, I completely agree with you. So DC to DC boost converter will take care of to maintain the DC link voltage constant. But if there is a variation on the grid current, there is a increase in DC current.
Yeah, that time in the two controllers inner control outer voltage loop.
Yeah,
It
that is
will.
what. Yeah.
Okay. Sir, another question, sir. You told us, sir, inner current control loop should be the faster response and outer voltage loop should be the slower response. Sir, why it is, sir, please explain once again.
That is what I told you. See, the current control means what? The inverter is designed to handle the rated current of the grid, right? If the current controller is not taking the action immediately, if the dynamic response of the current controller is not so fast, immediately there is a overcurrent, it will damage your inverter. You know, power electronic switches doesn't have any overload capacity. For example, the current is 10 ampere. If it reaches to 10.5 or 10.7, the sudden increase may be 125%. It may beyond that ultimately overheating, so it will damage your device. That is what. So then that it ensure overcurrent protection. Ultimately, it has to act very fastly. So how your MCB is taking action at your home whenever there is a load current beyond its limit. That is what. So because that is why we are more concerned about the overcurrent rather than over voltage. So over voltage may happen whenever there is a sudden removal of load or whenever there is a capacitor switching. So that we are not concerned about the renewable energy. We are more concerned about the overload only. That is what. So current controller has to be designed with a larger bandwidth. It ensures extremely good dynamics. Yeah.
So that means to design the current controller, we have to keep in mind the time constant of current controller should be.
Of course. Yes.
Okay. Sir, another question, sir. Please explain. Sir, you are talking about the in PCC. In PCC, there is a shunt active power filter is used to actually. Why it is used, and sir, please explain, sir. This actually there is a need problem. That's why.
No. I whatever you are asking, I completely agree with you. Whatever the questions and all. Yeah. So actually, the voltage available at PCC is basically the voltage of the grid. So what is the actual grid voltage? So that voltage is basically voltage at PCC. Actually, voltage at PCC is not a kind of a real connection where you are going to connect. But actually, the PCC even is not well defined by IEEE. So as per IEEE definition also, PCC means the point at which the non-linear loads are connected in power system.
Yeah.
That's not approach. So it doesn't have a correct definition for PCC. Yeah.
No, sir, I said that what is the actually function of the active power filter and why it is used actually?
That is what. So the voltage at PCC must be constant, and moreover the grid current injection into the utility grid must be sinusoidal. That is what. So you are using an active power filter to mitigate the harmonic component which presents in the source current. Why? Whenever you are connecting a three-phase non-linear diode rectifier load, you might be knowing diode rectifier is basically a non-linear load. So current, it never follows the voltage. Of course, there is a strong non-linearity between the voltage and current. So it will try to distort your supply current. So if the supply current is getting distorted, of course, you know, whatever be the source load you are connecting with the same supply, ultimately all are going to be, distorted. You can find, for example, if you are connecting a, electric oven, you can find there is an overheat due to, harmonic component. So that harmonic current has to be neutralized so that we are using an active power filter. So who injects a complementary component of harmonic which presents in the grid current.
Okay.
For example, I'll tell you, your grid current composed of fundamental component plus third harmonic component. So 1 plus 3. Okay. So active power filter which injects complementary component of harmonic which presents in the grid. Basically, it is injecting -3.
Okay.
So 1 plus 3 minus 3. What would be the resultant value?
Fundamental. That is the fundamental.
That is what active power filter. So it is basically generating, it is injecting complementary component of the harmonic which presents in the source current, so that it is mitigating the power quality problem, so that the grid current it remains sinusoidal. That is what is called active power filter.
Sir, please show the actually that schematic diagram of active power filter. Actually, you have sent it.
Yes. So let me show you the figure. Yeah.
That actually explain, sir.
Yeah, here this is the source current. The source is connected with a three-phase diode non-linear rectifier load. Okay, so this load is connected with three-phase AC supply at PCC. Okay. So now what happens when the three-phase non-linear load is connected at PCC of a three-phase AC, due to non-linearity of your diode rectifier with a non-linear load, you can find there is a strong, variation in the supply current. You can see that here. So there is a strong variation in the supply current. You can see supply current is distorted. See here, supply voltage remains constant for R phase, but the supply current for R phase is not sinusoidal. It is distorted. It is like a stepped wave because of what? The interaction of three-phase non-linear diode rectifier load at PCC, right? So due to that, now what happens? As the current is distorted, it composed of fundamental component as well as harmonic component. Okay. So now, then the complementary component of harmonic components, which is being, compensated and generated by shunt active power filter, so that this is a component which is being injected at PCC. So which is being injected at PCC means here, which is being injected at here. That's what I told you. Now the supply current comprises of fundamental 1 and the fifth harmonic 5. So 1 plus 5, which is being connected with the three-phase diode rectifier load. This voltage source inverter is injecting -5. So 1 plus 5 minus 5, the resultant is 1. So your supply current, it remains sinusoidal.
So it is actually the work as a harmonic compensation.
That is what shunt active power filter means. It is mitigating the harmonic. That is what harmonic mitigation.
So it is kind of, sir, it is one of kind of third harmonic injection or like that, and this type of technique.
No. Here there is no existence of third harmonic. I told you that we are using the fourth leg. So fourth leg is basically provide bath for third harmonic. That will be neutralized by using fourth leg of voltage source inverter. So here there is no point of talking about third harmonic. If you are using only 3-leg voltage source inverter, then you talk about third harmonic. See your THD spectrum. There is no existence of third harmonic. So it's not required to talk here. You can see here. It has only fundamental, then 5th, 9th, 13th, there is no existence of third harmonic.
Okay, sir, can you, sir, please elaborate actually why the 4-leg is there to utilize the third harmonic?
That is not utilized, it is compensating. While you are using the fourth leg, so that fellow will provide path for the neutral current. You see, as the fourth leg is basically a neutral current, as you are using the fourth leg, and this fellow will provide a path for the neutral. So this will not be interacting with the supply current. So that there is no existence of third harmonic. You can see here. You can see the figure very clearly, and where here you see here. So as you are using the fourth leg, whenever a non-linear load is connected, and you see the neutral current is basically it is following, and moreover the neutral current has certain value about 20 ampere per division. It implies the neutral current magnitude is higher when the non-linear load or unbalanced loads are connected. So this has to be compensated. If not, neutral current will be overheating. So it will overheat the neutral wire. So now this has to be compensated by fourth leg, so that as it is compensating the neutral current, so that the ISN it becomes 0. So it means there is no third harmonic current injection here.
Okay.
That is what. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, if, again the neutral current compensation or the harmonic current. So you should have a fundamental knowledge on the symmetrical component theory in power system. You are from power electronics or power system?
Power electronics, sir.
That is what. So if you could able to study in power system, please study about the symmetrical components or power system analysis or the power system fault in power system. Please go through when the grid is under fault. So how you are going to linearizing the parameter and how the harmonic components are involving. I mean positive sequence and negative sequence and zero sequence. You will completely understand about what is third harmonic, what is zero sequence, what is positive sequence, what is negative sequence. Okay, that is what. As you are from power electronics background, maybe you may not have an idea about the zero sequence, positive and negative sequence. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for such.
Okay. Thank you very much. And if you have any help or support or whatever, you can email me. Definitely, I am ready to respond to your mail. Okay.
Your email or any contact ID, sir.
Yeah, it's available here. You are able to see the screen.
Yeah, sir. It is mail. Okay.
Yeah. This is the email ID. You please note down. You can email me whenever you have a doubt. Okay. Yeah, and moreover, you can.
Sir,
Yeah.
Actually, sir, I am working on also the DSpace 1103. Sir,
Okay.
actually,
Okay.
the
Anyway,
problem is, sir,
as time is elapsed, no problem at all. You can come to my private chat in my email. Definitely, I will support it. Let us have a good interaction. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So,
okay,
participants, any others are having doubt, please let me know, or we can wind up the session.
Sir, I have another question related to that. So whenever
Yeah.
unbalancing is there, it means, sir,
Yeah.
zero sequence current will flow through the neutral.
Yeah.
So how the fourth leg is compensating? It is not being clear, sir.
That is what I'm telling. So you should have an idea about the sequence component in power system. Then you,
I have the idea, sir. Actually, I am teaching
yeah.
the same subject from previous 4 years,
Okay.
and
Now see
I have idea
here.
of all the sequence
Yes.
components.
Whenever when the third harmonic current exist mean if you are making a closed path. For example, you have a three-phase AC system without any neutral wire. As it is a three-phase AC, as it doesn't have any alternate path, so your third harmonic will be circulated only inside the closed system, so that it does not interact with either source or load. That is what during three-phase AC, I mean three-phase three-wire system, there is no existence of third harmonic. For example, talk about the delta connection. Okay, as it has a closed delta, so third harmonic current cannot interact with either source or supply. For example, if it is a machine, so that the third harmonic will be circulated only inside. It cannot interact with the source, so that it will further distort or disturb. But if you have a three-phase four-wire system, then ultimately there is a fourth wire. So then the fourth wire means neutral current. So if the system is balanced, then there is no neutral current. Neutral current is zero. When the system is unbalanced, then there is a circulation of neutral current. Right.
Yeah,
Now,
sir, that neutral current is equal to 3 times of I0.
that is
IN
what
is
I'm
3
telling.
times of
Now
I0.
what happened? Let me tell you. Now what happened? So as the neutral current flows, basically it is a zero sequence component. As 3 times I'm an INR zero sequence. So if this current going towards the neutral wire of the load. Why? Load is four-wire system. Source is a four-wire system. Ultimately, the neutral current flows between source and load. Am I right or not?
Yes, sir.
Now what happened? You have connected a voltage source inverter externally, as it has an additional neutral wire, additional leg, additional wire, that fourth leg. So this fellow will interfere with the neutral wire, so that it will not allow to flow in the source. Instead, the load and neutral current that will be connected with your voltage source inverter neutral wire. The fourth leg, so that your supply neutral current it remains same. Am I right or not? Let me. I'll show you here. I'll show you here. I'll show you the figure here. Yes. Just a minute. Yeah. You see here. Sorry. There is no fourth leg. Neutral current flows between the neutral terminal of supply and the neutral terminal of load. Okay. So ultimately there is a strong injection of neutral current between these two. Ultimately the third harmonic current is circulating, so your neutral wire is overheated. Now what happened? You have a fourth leg. So this is you have a fourth leg, means now the third harmonic current or neutral current, this will be bypassed towards this terminal instead of going towards this terminal.
Okay, it will get bypassed, right?
That is what. So it provides an alternate path for neutral current, mean then the neutral current mean third harmonic is already compensated. So supply current it remains sinusoidal without any third harmonic. That is what the concept.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Lord.
Yes. Or instead you can connect a three-phase star delta transformer instead of the neutral wire. Here you connect the star delta transformer. Then the secondary is delta. As it is a closed delta, that fellow will take care of the third harmonic. So it will be
that
the closed delta. It will not interact.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you very much for your nice interaction. And if you have any help or support, you can email me. Definitely, we will. I will support you. Okay. Thank you very much. Is the coordinator?
No other questions means we can wind up, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, madam. Okay.
On behalf of participants, I express our sincere thanks to Dr. B. Chittibabu, Assistant Professor, IIIT Kanchipuram, for being with us and having shared your expertise by taking your time amidst of his busy schedule. Sir has emphasized his research work carried out in IIIT was very informative for us. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. We are very much grateful to have with you, sir, with us, sir. Thank you.
Okay, madam. Okay, madam. Thank you very much, madam. Thank you.
Thank you, participants. We will meet tomorrow. Thank you all.